Basically, the point of the class is to, talk about fursuits and how to best make them more expressive. Instead of just like, if I were to just talk like this and as opposed to just, the fursuit, depending on your character, some of them are silent or not, but you can still, even though you may or may not talk verbally in suit, you can always talk with your body. Body language is king, and things that we do for granted, while we're just, for example, like we'll be having dinner, or we'll just be standing around quietly, That's normal. But if you're in fursuit, that comes across a little bit differently, and it's not quite as interesting. And I'll give you guys some ideas on what you can do to help, bring your character, make it more interesting. Because the difference between this head that's sitting here is that it's not doing anything. And if you're in your fursuit and you don't do anything, well, it can be really cool too, but still, there's that, it can be great. It can be a difference between, like really cool fursuit and then, oh my God, this is, just getting people pumped up. That's also the other function for mascots. You would see them at sporting events, they get people, stuff like that. So, atmosphere. So most of you have told me earlier before that you either have, well, you clearly have a fursuit, or you plan to get one, and you're obviously in one, so that's awesome. Hi, grab a seat. Yep, you want to learn more about fursuits and how to,
Emote.
make them, yay, look cool, So yeah, I'm Corbin. I don't know if you may or may not have seen me around. I've been running all over the place. And it's hellishly hot, so I haven't been fursuiting as much. But there are other classes about safety, but just quick pointer, if it's above 90 degrees, be careful when you fursuit, especially if it's a full fursuit, because you will overheat extremely quickly in direct sunlight. Yeah, so, I wish it wasn't so hot. Darn it. Yeah. Okay, so fursuit. So how many of you have seen cartoons? I know it's a rhetorical question. Everyone's seen cartoons, I know. But the point is, with the cartoons, you would notice characters tend to be very expressive and dramatic and stuff like that, or even anime, manga and stuff like that. You see the characters, they always, pose extremely like that. They do all sorts of, silly things. Or, we even do it to ourselves, like, hey, show us how strong you are. And then you'll be like that. That's emoting, You're not saying anything, you're using your body to talk for you. Like, oh, yeah, I just ate something, that's good. And then, things that you would see in cartoons and manga, that's emoting. And with fursuits, if you think in terms of, some of us look realistic, but a lot of us look cartoony, or even if you are realistic, that's fine too. But if you don't talk, you can definitely take cues from comic books, video games even, video game posters, I would tell people, like, do the Superman pose. And then, your character will be way more expressive. And so stuff like that, contrast. Sorry, brain. Fursuits, okay. Dancing and activity. We're good. And so, would you mind if you, come up and help demonstrate? Just give us an idea, right? Oh, see, you want, thank you. Thanks for your help. Yeah, but notice when she was walking up, she had a little bit of sass in it. And see, that's good. That's characterization. Was that did you just come up with that naturally? Did you plan your, see?
Pretty naturally.
See, that's emoting. Yeah. And just don't do anything, okay? So, so how are you doing today? Yeah. You having fun? Hey, do you want a fursuit hug? No? Hey, hello, what's your name? Yeah, I know, it's hard. I can just see her shaking. So, I would say just act natural. Hey, how you doing? Yay, oh, you want a hug? Great, yay. Yeah, that's awesome. So, you were moving, that's great. And so, fursuit. So when you have a fursuit, one of the things we like to do is, if you were just talking naturally, like you guys are sitting still, that's fine. But when you're in a fursuit, motion is important. No, really, because if you're, if you're having dinner across from me and I'm just doing this all the time, it's like, be like, what the heck are you doing, But if you're in a fursuit, it helps to, I would say, think video game characters. Think any video game character. If you just don't do anything, the character don't just sit there like a rock. They do things like, they just do simple things. It's like,
Idle animation.
yeah, think idle animations, right? Where they just do like, Sonic. Sonic was a famous one. He did the whole.
He gets pissed off and leaves.
Yeah, and if you wait long enough, he'll actually do. Yeah, so idle animations can really help bring the character to life with fursuit, because if you're looking to look across the room right now and then you see someone in a fursuit, that catches their attention. If they're not doing anything, your eyes will then gloss over them. So one of the things that you would have to consider with fursuiting is idle animation. I notice a lot of people that when they're not doing anything, they just do this, which is normal. I mean, I'm just talking, That's cool, we're cool, but I'm not moving. So, but when you're in fursuit, especially when you're not talking, or even when you're not doing anything and you're just trying to chill, and it wouldn't hurt to just think video game characters and be like, you don't have to do, I mean, if you're trying to relax, you don't have to do much, but you can just sort of like that. I'm sorry, if I look weird, I'll keep my neck stiff. It's because my fursuit. Here, I'll put it on and I'll show you. If I look net, my vision's like this, right? When you're fursuit, that's the other thing to do when you're in fursuits. So we like to see what we're doing, and so because I can't see anything below my hands right here. So what's the first thing you do? When our instinct is like, if you're walking downstairs, you see where your feet is, right? Well, this isn't very interesting, but I know where my feet is. So unfortunately, one of the things I've actually trained myself to do is almost like the cheerleader thing, just keep your head up at all costs. I don't know where my feet is, but I hope I don't kick into anyone or run my toes across any chairs.
Or trip.
Yeah. Do you run into the same problem?
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely very hard, and I have tripped over small children.
I have small vision out of my mouth, so it sort of helps a little bit.
Ah, there we go.
Vision from your mouth is good.
Yeah, I don't
Vor
have that.
vision.
But my jaw's movable.
Mine not so much.
Yeah, but no, your jaw's already open. So, but here's the thing: if I'm not talking, I don't get air. So, yeah, talking is how I get air. So people are like, "Why are you always talking, Corbin?" It's like, because I need it to live. If I'm not talking, I don't breathe. Fursuiting. But yeah, so fursuiting, you just, if you stand around normally like this and I just talk to you normally, and people usually, if you see two people talking, occasionally they'll laugh, but sometimes they'll just be like, hey, what's up? Yeah, well, nothing. But even then, you still do little motions like that, What's up? Hey, yeah. And so with fursuit, you actually then kick it up a notch. If you were to say, like, hey, what's up? You do like, hey, what's up? You just, pump it up. Because the fursuit itself mutes a lot of, because you feel this thing, you feel it. It's heavy. This thing has a weight. So you're used to like, oh, this is heavy. Like if you're wearing a very heavy, snow jacket, you'll tend to just be like, well, I'm not going to move much because it takes energy. So, we're lazy. So with our instinct, you need to get across an instinct. I mean, just be like, hey, what's up? And stuff like that. And depending on your character, one of the other things that you have to come up with your characterization, right? Show me when you're sad.
Oh.
Now you're angry.
Oh.
Stumpy. All right. It's great to see you.
Oh.
Yeah, see hands. Notice the hands are emoting a lot. Now she's shy. So yeah, your hands are one of the greatest assets, and a lot of fursuits have tuning hands. Oh, you actually got normal hands. Congrats. You can actually open doors. No, you've seen those giant. We don't have one of those fursuits, but some fursuits have like paws, and they have like 4 fingers, and they Oh. Someone has? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, if you look over there. Have you tried operating a doorknob?
Yes, actually.
Is it easy?
The pads make it easier.
Ah, okay, congrats. Yeah, if it's all fur though, I could just be like. You're emoting again. No, you're doing it.
I did sign language for a long time.
Ah.
That helps.
Oh, there you go. You're literally talking with your hands with sign language. So yeah, I mean, it's just idle animation. Just think about video game characters like Superman. Yep. I'm trying to think what else. What's another good character? What about those comic book characters where they do this? I can't twist my head that far. And if I do, please call the doctor. So unfortunately, some of those poses, especially in like anime, they're just impossible to do. I don't know how they do. I don't know how their head and the
They don't
back
have
are.
spines.
Yeah, no, it's really scary. You think about some anime characters, you know how they do this look, it's supposed to be seductive or something, and then their head's completely 180 degrees behind them, and it's like, oh my God, I can't. This is as far as I go. So yeah, it's low energy though. If you've noticed a lot of this doesn't, aside from with the exception of like jumping, they don't take up much energy, and so you don't heat up. And heat management's a big thing with fursuit emotes. I warned some of my friends that try, one of the things early fursuiters would like to do is because I'm going to be this really excited, person's just jumping all over the place. And then 5 minutes later, like, headless lounge. So, I mean, so heat management. Sorry, I don't know how well you guys were hearing me in there. All right, I'm used to projecting, yeah. I blame the beak. The beak turns into a megaphone. Yeah, bird beak.
Beakophone.
Megaphone.
Beakophone.
So,
Beak.
yeah, you need to manage your heat, and just consider, like, if you're just waving hi to your friends, you can just do this, but you probably don't need to, be like, yeah, unless you're on stage or something, or if you're by some miracle, I know different people react differently to heat. I know a couple of friends that fursuit for like entire days at a time. They don't sweat and they don't overheat. I don't know how they do it.
They're aliens.
I really don't.
Are you sure they're not cold-blooded creatures?
But even cold-blooded would get warm. That's the thing.
There's a medication my sister told me about that actually stops you from sweating.
That sounds dangerous,
Dangerous.
actually.
You're supposed to sweat when you stop.
No, but
sweating,
they
you
don't
sweat.
sweat. No, they don't sweat. That's the thing. Different people. One of the part of getting a fursuit is figuring out how you sweat. There are people that sweat their head; it just drips all over the place, and then it just drenches. And other people, they sweat in their feet. I know a couple of friends that bring in like 12 pairs of socks. No, because they would just sweat right through them. And yeah, in my case, I only sweat around my neck and my lower back. My feet is completely dry. It's amazing. But yeah, I'm lucky I don't sweat buckets. But yeah, so managing your heat is actually a big thing so figuring out your character. Is your character really energetic, Is your character kind of angry? You've seen those angry fursuits, so they walk around like this. Look, notice how I'm taking up space with my hands. And what this does is then people get out of your way. That's the point. No, that's the point. If that's your character, so be it, right? And then you have the people that sort of keep to themselves, all quiet. A lot of angel dragons are kind of like that. They're really, they're shy. They take up less space. And then they do that cute little wiggle thing, and then I can't do it. I don't have a tail. Well, I don't have. I have this little flappy thing. Oh, show off. Show off. Yeah, that's nice. You're really good. Yeah, it really adds. No, yeah. And so could you tell us the process of just what kind of character did you come up with for...
Lyris.
Okay, just saw wolf on the badge. That seems just a little generic.
I'm yellow?
You got 5 badges.
I
don't know which one to read.
know. I am slowly collecting them.
She's
no.
confused.
Soon I'll just be covered in badges.
Oh no, you'll just be one giant badge. Your badge suit.
That would be scary.
You'll be like, here's your badge, badge.
Just need a cape of badges.
Oh.
The most expensive cape.
Hey, scales, yeah. Badges of scales.
Scale mail.
Yeah.
I guess the process was I wanted to think who I wanted to interact with the most, because I have a realistic suit, but it scares children instantly.
Oh,
And I
that's
feel
sweet.
bad and guilty, so it's like, I'm gonna make a toony suit so that children laugh instead of cry.
What animal was your realistic suit?
The same.
Oh, another
It
wolf.
was a big wolf costume. It had moving ears, LEDs, moving jaw, and all that, and it was like
Works.
super cool. But then it made children cry when I went to cons, and I felt
Aw.
really sad inside. So instead, I was like, all right, it's time to be friendly and happy, and make people laugh, because that's kind of like my job as a person, to make people happy and bring joy. So figured I'd embody that as a character too.
Yeah. And notice how expressive your hands are the whole time. You know.
Also Italian, so Italian people. or date an actor, that also helps.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, so you're getting better reaction with this fursuit, obviously, with kids.
Yes.
Yes.
They
that is
don't
awesome.
cry instantly.
Yeah, that's the other thing you have to consider. Yeah, with your fursuit, unfortunately, it's like if you want to go, like I said, do you want to be scary, or do you want to be like shy, or or you want to be just be like happy, which is there's obviously other ones, but those are the three very easy ones because they're just extremes. And most fursuits tend to fall into one of those, and you can be more subtle or nuanced. Obviously, if you're a happy group, you can still be shy. Like when you were doing the whole puzzle thing, like, oh. But yeah, it's a good go-to, and then you can try just posing in front of a mirror. And then, where do you draw inspiration from with your just hands? You just felt natural, or?
Yeah, part of it is through watching other fursuiters and how they express. But I also overheat very quickly, so I can't do quite as giant of things. So I do more kind of medium range expressions. Instead of out here, I'm right here.
Yeah.
But I'm not so shy that I'm like here.
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. So see.
Medium range.
Yeah. So like I said, it's managing your heat levels. But if I told you like, hey, Channel 4 is here, they're filming you. Oh, you're gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna be fireworks, right?
Maybe.
Maybe? No, you're just gonna be like, oh my god, no, you're not gonna
I might be more embarrassed.
Ooh,
Big crowds make me nervous.
but you're in suit.
I know. It's a complicated relationship.
It's true, that is true, that is definitely something that is true, but yeah, for me, it's like if I tend to, like you said, I would pace myself out and not do the really, jumping by the way is a very exhausting, if you're in full fursuit jumping, because when you jump you do this, you heat up your lower calves, then your upper thighs, then your thing, and then your whole body. So your whole body basically heats up at that point when you jump. And then of course you're heavier, so then you have to jump harder. So one of the other things I do with fursuit emotes, you want to find a good bang for your buck. So you want to do moves that will look good, but like you said, instead of going all the way out here, that takes a lot of energy to hold your arm out. You'll be like, maybe like just do this, or maybe even do this if you're tired, or But yeah, energy. But if you want to do high energy, so one of the other things with jumping, one of the things I've actually learned, if you're in fursuit, instead of like, yay, I'm excited, and actually like jump off the floor, if your character's really bouncy, one of the things I've learned is to actually just bounce up on your feet. And since most of the attention is already up on your fursuit head, if you're not looking at my body, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, that's a jump. And then you only heat up your feet. I thought, well, it's still warm. Everything that you do in a fursuit warms you up. Existing is warming you up. The act of being. Wow, that's a philosophical question. Yeah. We noticed that we just both crossed our arms and we were thinking, body language. So that's a lot of fun. If you think about it, when you're in your fursuit, one of the best things you can do, you can actually just play out all of those cartoon, comic book, or anime poses within reason. Don't dislocate yourself trying to do any crazy pose that are just completely impossible. And of course your eyeballs can't shoot out of your skull, and if you do, I'm sorry. Oof, ouch. The double take, yeah. Personality, you can convey a lot of personality, and don't be afraid to experiment too. I mean, don't just be like, well, my character is going to be like this really angry, you know, passive-aggressive thing, and that's just like walking around like a caveman, you know. But, you know, don't be afraid to just try out, yeah, you know what, that just doesn't feel right. You know. I can't see myself being an angry character, though. I can have mad props to the people that have those angry fursuits, and they're just like constantly, you know, angry with their body poses, because that actually takes a lot of energy. And that's a lot of